Hey, what's up? Ian here, and this is my review for the Simgot EA500 tunable IEM. Now, before I begin, I'd like to thank Simgot for sending this to me and making this video possible. But guys, rest assured that whatever I say in this video is my own opinion. This video is not scripted, and Simgot will be watching this video together with you guys. Alright, so Simgot EA500, and this is currently retailing for $92 US. And for those of you who are interested, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. And as usual, in this video I'll go through the accessories, the fit and comfort, the design and build quality, and of course I'll share with you guys my sound impression of these IEMs. But don't worry, this video will be timestamped, so please feel free to skip around. Right, so let's start off with the accessories. Comes in a box like this. Very nice box actually. Nothing that shows the IEM in front. At the back you do get some graphs as well. In fact, two graphs, because this is a tunable IEM, and they changed the tuning using the nozzle, which I'll show you later. There are some specifications at the back here, so let's quickly go through that. The driver is a 10mm dynamic driver with dual magnetic circuit and dual cavity structure. Diaphragm is the 4th generation DLC, and the impedance is 16 ohms. Sensitivity, there are two. One is for the red nozzle. The red nozzle is 123 dB, and the other sensitivity is 124 dB VRMS. With the black nozzle, and the frequency range, which is 10 to 50,000, but the effective range is 20 to 20,000. That's the box. Let's see what's inside the box. Obviously you'll get some paperwork. I'm not going to go through that. And carrying pouch. So this carrying pouch is pretty okay, standard pill shaped pouch. You can put your IEM in there. Mesh pocket. You can put your accessories here. Is semi-hard on the shell, both sides. And that's it. Okay, pretty functional box or carrying case. And you get silicone ear tips. So you get three sizes: small, medium and large. These ear tips are not bad. Okay, I've used them and I kind of like them. It gives me a very good seal, and it's not uncomfortable. The silicone is soft to the touch, you know, it's very human skin friendly, and the flange is not too hard, not too soft. Inner core is pretty good quality. I like this. Now, O-rings, you have a whole lifetime supply of O-rings, and you have the red and the black, just in case you wear out the current O-rings, which I doubt I will be doing. Just a lifetime supply of them if you need. And let's talk about the cable. Cable is a 4-core OFC cable, and terminated with angled 3.5 headphone jack with the Velcro strap organizer. Chin slider is not bad. Y splitter is made of plastic. I kind of like this type of chin slider. Okay, it separates the cable, so at the same time when you tug on it, it doesn't move. So yeah, very nice. So this cable is not bad. It's not the best, of course, but it does hold its form. Doesn't really tangle. Even if it tangles, it's kind of easy to untangle. Ear hooks are okay. I've worn them and they fit pretty well. They are quite comfortable and quite conformable to the shape of my ear, so no issues with that. Right, so let's take a look at the IEM themselves, and they look beautiful. They are gorgeous, and actually I can look at my own self on this because this is mirror finish. You can see whatever reflections on it. You can even see my camera and my lighting system, but this is beautiful, right? Of course, with this, the drawback is you get fingerprints, so just get a microfiber cloth in handy and just clean it whenever you have fingerprints on it. But the shell is really nice. Okay, the faceplate is nice and mirror-like. Okay, you got the 2-pin connector on the top here, the Simgot model number, and then you got vents, and the vents are really nice. If you look at the vent, I don't know, it's very well done. Okay, I've not seen such well done vents here. Okay, nozzle. Right, so this is the special part, interchangeable nozzle. Okay, so this nozzle that I have right here is the black one. Okay, so this is the black nozzle, and currently on the IEM itself is the red nozzle. Okay, so in order to change it out, all you need to do is unscrew with your fingers. There you go. And just, I've got fat fingers, so gotta be very careful with this. I don't want to drop this, and the moment I drop it, that's it. Okay, so that is how easy it is to change out the nozzle. And just swap it back. Simple. Let's talk about the fit and comfort. So these fit my ears pretty well, okay? No issues with that. In fact, it doesn't give me any pain or any sharp edges that's poking the inner ear, and generally doesn't give me any fatigue or physical fatigue when I'm wearing this. So very comfortable, very easy to wear, disappears in my ear. All right, and I can wear this for a long period of time. Very comfortable. And the seal, it gives me a pretty good seal on these ear tips, surprisingly. I like this ear tips. Gives me a very comfortable fit and a very comfortable seal, and it seals off a lot of my ambient sound. So I'm kind of impressed with this ear tips. So I like this ear tips. Okay. Alright, so let's talk about the sound, and let me take out my graph. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can see, I brought out my graph. So let's first talk about the technicalities of these earphones. Now, for the price to performance, which is this is $92 US, I find that it's okay. It does perform up to the price that it's asking for, so pretty value for money in terms of the price to performance. Yeah. Now let's talk about the soundstage for this. And for soundstage, there are two different soundstage. It depends on the nozzle that you're using. So if you're using the red nozzle, it's more of an open soundstage. If you're using the black nozzle, which I call it blue here because on the box it looks blue to me in terms of the graph, so I named it blue. But yeah, it's essentially the black O-ring. So the one with the black O-ring, the soundstage is a bit closer, right, and more closed up, right, as compared to the red nozzle. So that it depends on which nozzle you're using, okay. So for imaging and sound separation, I find that it's pretty good, right. It does image well. Sound does have its own individual layout, and I can identify the location of those instruments, so it's pretty good for the price it's asking for. And in terms of separation, it doesn't have a muddled feel. Sound do have that individual space, and pretty separated. Okay, now for detail retrieval, depends on the tuning, right? So for the red O-ring, which is a red nozzle, that one has got a lot of details, right? That is definitely very detailed. For the black O-ring, that one has got a little bit less, but it's still very detailed for its tuning, right? So looking at this tuning, which I'll explain later, these IEMs, they produce very detailed sound, right? Very detailed. You can pick up the nuances and the micro details on this very good, right? Now let's talk about the resolution. So resolution on this is also very good. I mean, for a 10mm dynamic drive, it's okay in terms of comparison with other IEMs, but when it comes to the price, it actually performs really well. It's pretty resolving IEM at just below $100. Okay, so yeah, I would say this is actually a pretty good buy in terms of the resolution overall package when it delivers the sound. Okay, so let's talk about tone and timbre. Okay, so tone and timbre for this is two different tone and timbre. So the red nozzle, that would give you a very thin, light, dry, lean, and neutral type of tone and timbre. Okay, for the black O-ring, black nozzle, that would give you a bit more warmth. It's still pretty linear sounding, and it's pretty neutral to natural type of timbre, and the note weight is just a bit heavier than the red, but it's still pretty light and thin. It's not as thin as the red nozzle, but yeah, it's a bit thicker. Okay, so yeah, in terms of the overall and what I hear, and on average, this is more of a natural to neutral tuned and very light note and thin type of listening experience. Yeah, very comfortable for my liking, I would say. Okay, all right, so let's now talk about the sound signature. So look at this graph. All right, it's pretty linear, right? There's a bump in the treble, not much of a difference here in terms of the entire frequency. So you can imagine that the bass is there. Yes, it's there, but it's not an elevated bass, but the treble is enhanced. Okay, so for those who are treble heads, you will definitely love this tuning. So I would say this is a niche tuning. Is actually for the treble heads, right? If you are a treble head, you will love this IEM. Right, so let's first talk about the sub bass. Sub bass is got rumble, right? But is a rolled off rumble, so the extension of the rumble is not by a lot. Bass heads will definitely want more, and is a thin and light type of rumble. No doubt the rumble is there, is just not the star of the show, obviously. So it's sufficient, right? It does provide that rumble, but it's not to a level whereby it gives me that feet tapping type of situation, okay? But the rest does give me a very emotional sensation, but I'll talk about that one, all right? But for sub bass, it's all right. It provides the sufficient rumble, okay? For mid bass, it's quite thumpy. It's got good impact. It's quite prominent as well, right? But the note weight of it is thin and pretty surgical and light type of presentation, and pretty smooth. So yeah, not a very outstanding mid bass as well. Well, to me, the bass, right, is just there to support the entire frequency. It's not the main focus of this tuning. The main focus of this tuning is actually the treble, okay, and the lower mids. Okay, so let's talk about the lower mids, which is instruments. They sound really clear. Pianos, they sound crystal clear. Violins, flutes, they just sparkle, right? I love listening to instruments on these earphones. They just shine on this IEM, and it's not heavy note. It's clean, clear, light, and neutral sounding type of sound that delivers to my ear. I really enjoyed, without the coloring of any of the bass, it sounds so clean and clear, right? Vocals as well. Vocals, I mean, even though for male vocals they need a bit of that warmth to be present, to have that emotional connection when they are in the mix, they don't sound musical, but for me they sound analytical, and depends on what type of genre of music that I'm listening to. I do get emotional connection with them, and it sounds musical at times, but in most times it's just clean, clear, light, and precise type of delivery of that sound. So yeah, I enjoyed listening to male vocals on this, but I enjoy listening to female vocals more on these. Female vocals, they have that sparkle there, that energy there, the presence and that bite. Oh, they sound great on this. It's so emotionally engaging on these IEMs. So yeah, they sound really good for female vocals, okay? Right, yeah. Okay, so now let's for treble, right? Treble, there are two different tunings, and one I hear is first let's talk about the red nozzle, right? The red nozzle is, in terms of the treble, they are really, the impedance is or the sensitivity of this nozzle affects the treble. So if you're on the red nozzle, right, that will become very sensitive, and the treble becomes very responsive, and I find that it's very hot. All right, very, very hot treble. If you are a treble head, as I mentioned, you will love this treble on this IEM. It's a little bit too, it's going to be, this is, I mean, I'm going to say right now, this is a very niche tuning. It's not sibilant, it's not harsh, it's not shouty, it's hot treble, right? You don't get focused on the bass or the mids or anything like that. It's the treble, right? You get focused on the treble, and it's really hot type of treble. So if you're a treble head and you're on the red nozzle, you orgasm with this tuning. But if you don't want too much of that treble, then you will use the black nozzle, and I prefer the black nozzle, right? It's not too hot for me. Just nice, I would say, and it's got that sparkle there. The energy is there as well. It's a bit warmer in terms of the treble. Cymbal strikes, hi-hats, guitars, they have got a more bitey feel to me. The red nozzle is too much in terms of the bite, so it does have that orgasmic type of feel to me, and it's very engaging. It tickles every sense in me when I listen to this IEM in terms of the treble. Brings out every emotion in me in terms of the connection to the simple strikes, and it's very, very engaging. Okay, so I like the treble on this, and I like the black nozzle. Okay, all right, so that is the entire frequency itself, and as you can hear from my review, I like this IEM because I don't want to admit that I'm a treble head, but it is what it is, right? I like this type of tuning, and it does appeal to me, right? I am a bass head as well, but I do like my treble. Okay, so yeah, so to conclude, right, this is a niche tuning, and it appeals to those treble heads. If you like treble, this is actually a pretty good IEM to go for. If you are sensitive to treble, this is not the IEM for you. Okay, but if you can tolerate just a little bit, you can try the black nozzle. Okay, so the genre that is suitable for this is, well, can play most genre, but more suitable for classical, jazz, instruments, female vocals. And if you're using this as a monitor, or you are a content creator, you can use this to monitor your music. Or if you're a singer-songwriter, this is actually pretty good as well. So do I recommend this? Yeah, definitely. For treble hits, this is a highly recommended IEM from me. Right, so that concludes my overall review and impressions of this Simgot EA500. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Right, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next review. Cheers.